I feel like the most important women's segment of the night wasn't even the match, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because the women usually don't get enough TV time, or they don't get a match and a good segment. So, hey, Jamie Hayter, face Sky Blue. Jamie Hayter wins. Duh.
Yeah. Obviously.
Sky Blue ditched Madison Rayne and brought out Toni Storm instead.
He was very upset about that, you guys.
Well, I mean,
although, you know, the stepmom and stepsis team is pretty cool, you know.
I mean, Toni Storm gets about as much reaction as Madison Rayne, so it's not like you're really losing anything.
That's true. That's true.
I feel so mean, but I'm not even trying to.
It's hard not to be.
So, when I say that they actually had 3 different parts, and the biggest one was actually a segment, that's because Renee Paquette did have a moment backstage with Jade and the Baddies.
That's right. I'll sum this up for you real fast. I know Nyla Rose is going to be here on Friday. I'll see her on Friday.
Oh, I figured you were going to go with 4 words. Nyla Rose, Full Gear. Because that match was announced.
Yes, that was announced. But yeah, that was it. Nothing else there.
So, where the real action was, I guess, with the women, was Tony Schiavone with Britt Baker. Hold on. No, that's not right. Dr. Britt Baker.
EMD.
With everything being backwards, I wasn't sure. And Saraya. So, we talked about it as we were going into it. I was like, usually when Britt gets these kind of segments, they've all been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had 0 investment in Saraya so far.
Yeah.
How do you feel after this promo tonight?
This was, I don't know. I'm still on the fence with Saraya, because all she did was finally fucking say that she can wrestle.
I do feel, and this,
I mean, like I felt the emotion, but I didn't care about what she was saying at the same time. I don't know, it's weird, because I was like, I can feel it. I understand. You're a pretty good actor, but I don't know anything about you, and they're trying to force me to care about you. I still don't.
so it's kind of like the whole me with Wheeler Yuta thing. I just personally do not care about him. I understand it, and I see the reactions and like everything else. I just I don't care. But it was easy to tell from this promo, as you just kind of pointed out, with the way that she delivered her promo, the emotion, what she said, that kind of stuff, that hey, finally somebody who, you know, can kind of go toe to toe, another person who can really talk on that level for the women.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked that. I could feel the emotion coming from her. It's just because I am not invested in her at all. There's gonna have to be more to build her up. Like, throwing her immediately in with Britt Baker didn't do it for me.
Which actually was a huge kind of ending point for this promo, because Saraya basically goes, she talks about her medical stuff, right? She said she saw more doctors, got more MRIs, X-rays, all that good stuff. And unfortunately for Britt, I'm 100% clear. Big reaction. This is her house. Britt calls the fans fickle. Because as much as they love Britt, for her not to begin the bigger reaction in the ring is opposite of normal.
Yeah. Yeah, usually she's getting the biggest reaction. But people wanted to hear this since the moment she got to AEW, because it's been, I don't know, it's been annoying me that they're just like, oh yeah, she's here, but will she wrestle? Like, come on, man, you brought her here to fucking wrestle. You don't make that big a deal out of somebody if they're not gonna wrestle.
Especially after they've already brawled. If she wasn't gonna wrestle, they wouldn't get physical.
Right. Yeah. Like, okay. All right. My ranting is over. Because I see potential for something good for the women's division coming from her.
Just unfortunately it means that Britt's gonna lose, and I kind of hate. I'm at the point where it sucks because you get tired of seeing the people come from WWE and them beating the AEW people and stuff, right? But this isn't someone who just left and is just switching companies. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different story. Britt's gonna lose.
Oh yeah. Saraya gave her neck for the business.
Did you know she got hit by a car and wrestled on the same day?
I did. Well, I've known that for about 2 hours.
But that's about the point that we got to get into the more serious conversation in the back and forth promo, because Britt talked about how she built AEW up into this fortress that other people want to move into, and she was proud of that. But pride turns into resentment when you have somebody like Saraya coming in saying this is her house, and she didn't, lay a single brick. She actually left her house and walked into Britt's house.
Yeah. Left her house, walked into hers.
Then she had to pull the doctor line.
We don't take walk-ins.
We don't
so bitch, make an appointment.
Yo. I was like, yes, that was so like, it kind of, because she wasn't really referencing being a doctor before, so it kind of came out left field.
Yeah.
But it's so in her character that, it's just like 1 second, like, got it. Yeah. Bravo.
Yeah, I like that line. That stuck. It was like, oh, Britt Baker, she got bars.
But then, as you talked about the emotion really came out from Saraya, as she said Britt doesn't know what it takes to make it as a star and all this other stuff about how Saraya built the revolution that she's just kind of trending off of. She had to go and hand out her resumes. She got hit by a car, wrestled on the same day. She got rejected from bookings because she was a female. That she had to grow up and, have her drug addiction on display for the whole world. She got humiliated for the whole world. Sex tape. But she talked about all the details of how she built the revolution, and Britt is just an ungrateful bitch.
Ungrateful bitch. But she did say that Britt gets to be a part of her comeback story. So it's it's going to be the biggest match of Britt's career.
Mm-hmm.
So you're welcome.
Yeah, she said Britt's been handed everything, and at Full Gear she's going to be handed one more thing. Her comeback story is the biggest match of Britt's career. that kind of sucks to hear. And I don't know if she's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the good line to go out on. And Britt didn't have any response.
They made a big deal about Britt being speechless. But, I mean, that's kind of similar to, like, asshole Phil Brooks coming out of retirement after 7 years. CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably Darby's biggest match of his career, and he's been a TNT champion.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Britt went to take a swing on her, and Saraya hit her finishing move from back in the day, which was called the Rampage, with her name being Paige. I don't know what they'll call it here. What was that, like? Cradle DDT.
Yeah, it's a weird DDT.
Capture DDT is probably what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, because it looks like someone tried to dive at you and hug you, and you just caught them and put them in a headlock and dropped them. It's like, Daddy! And you're like, nah, fuck you, kid.
I'll be honest, out of the finishing moves that I've seen her use during her career, it's probably the best looking one, which I don't know if that's saying much. Because at least it can look good, but also I was seeing that before AEW and wrestling around the world, where people were constantly being dropped on their head.